I think all of us former athletes had a defining moment, which is when the last out is completed or the buzzer sounds in your last collegiate game. It's kind of like, what now? Am I good enough to go to the next level? Do I want to do that? What is that next step? So that's, I think, a defining moment for a lot of Division I athletes and former athletes. But you specifically, what was kind of your defining moment that shifted your mindset and set you on this path specifically?
I think my own injuries and not being able to come back as well as I thought I should have. And I think that everyone will say that it was injuries the reason that I didn't make it. But I truly believe that a lot of my throwing injuries and my elbow injuries were due to things that maybe could have been rehabbed a little bit better, could have been trained around a little bit smarter, and could have gotten me onto a different trajectory. But you alluded to, the last out that you make. My last out was a sophomore in college at the University of Rhode Island on a bad northern field early in the season, 13 games in. Center field, I dive for a bad ball, my arm gets caught under me, and I tear my UCL in my elbow. And I rehabbed for about a year, going back to Buffalo, New York, going back to the University of Buffalo. And I was at a crossroads because I still had eligibility left. But they said, hey, you're smart enough and you had really good grades all the way through. Do you want to graduate or do you want to continue to play baseball?
Right.
And at that point in time, I ended up graduating and taking an assistantship at the University of Buffalo as an assistant strength and conditioning coach under one of my first mentors, Ed Fitzsimmons. And I think that was the turning point where you went from being an athlete to this unknown of now being a coach and a mentor of athletes. And I loved every single second of that because I was still where I loved to be the most, which was the gym. And I realized that it wasn't necessarily the field anymore. And I think that lined up to, hey, this is a start in the industry, and this is where my education actually begins. And it was an education not only in the classroom, but inside of mentorship and coaching that really made me open my eyes up to what was possible.